At the heart of the Upanishads is the concept of totality of acceptance, swikar. It is basically the attitude that has the power to convert one's being into a state of joyful acceptance, of enjoyment of whatever life brings, no matter if our circumstances are favorable, unfavorable, whether one is afraid or not, one accepts things wholeheartedly. And through this acceptance, inwardly one becomes centered. One is not buffeted by the ups and downs of circumstances, and that is what it truly means to be positive and joyful and blissful in life. Ananda is a product of being inwardly unchanged no matter how the outer weather changes. Circumstances change, like the weather, but one's inward climate does not change. You remain positive inside through acceptance. One simply does not choose one thing over the other. The acceptance of circumstances is really the concept of purnata, of wholeness of being, and that is a very Upanishadic concept. It is the concept of totality. We have to function from a heart which is full of gratitude and function from the core of our beings, from the depths of ourselves, not be disturbed by what is happening on the surface. Out of this understanding comes the vibration of dynamic action. And that is what the Upanishads are concerned with. To take man away from his constant state of confusion, from his dependency upon changing circumstances. Man keeps oscillating, wavering from one mood to the other. But at the heart of wisdom is to adapt to change and be constant within, be inwardly in a state that no matter what the outer eyes are perceiving, you are concerned with the inner eye of wisdom. You are concerned with insight. You are not distracted by things. Things can keep on changing in the material world, but you are inwardly integrated. Life is not an accident for you. You are crystallized within your being, and the different notes of life integrate around this harmony of your inner being. So, this ability to harmonize different aspects is what fulfillment eventually is. And it is at the very heart of Vedanta. Circumstances keep changing. Life is a wheel. Vedanta describes life as a wheel. One moment things are not favoring you, the other moment things are favoring you, but we have to remember what goes up comes down, and so forth. So you understand the dynamic between happiness and unhappiness. One moment you're happy, the next moment you're unhappy, yet you can transcend this momentary feeling of happiness and unhappiness. And that is the taking away of the primary tension of life. This is what prevents us from being total in energy, this mind oscillation, this mind movement, this inner change of mood. But if you are inwardly integrated and relaxed, then you ride the wave of different circumstances. Then the negative does not seem negative anymore, and you also know that the positive does not last for eternity. You are prepared for both aspects of existence, and thereby you achieve to higher truth. So the Upanishads keeps telling us, the Rishi keeps telling us that the highest is within us as a seed, but there's a very small possibility for it to germinate and sprout into a flower and fruit bearing tree. It must be prepared to go through all kinds of climates, all kinds of weather conditions. Only then can the blossoming happen. And that is the essence of creating value in life. This requires courage. This requires one to throw oneself into whatever situation one is faced with, whether one finds it positive or not. Not to panic. Most people panic when they face negative situations, what they perceive to be negative situations. But this is what determines mediocrity from excellence. The ability to ride the wave, to go with the flow, to be inwardly in such a psychological and spiritual flow that you are not disturbed anymore. Then You understand the dynamism of life. The very nature of life is dynamic. It keeps flowing from one circumstance to the other. Outer and constant change is happening. But if you accept change as the order of life, it creates a new vitality within you. And this vitality is also felt by other people who you deal with. You reach a state of peaceful inner being. And this total state of inner peace is really the goal of Vedanta. It leads to a balance between the extremes of pleasure and pain. Otherwise, people keep moving between pleasure and pain. But the thing is to attain to the balanced state of peaceful inner living. This is what the Rishi says. You are not to escape from anything, but you have the ability to confront whatever life brings you, because then only do you attain to Ananda, to bliss. So stop looking at your immediate circumstances and getting distracted by them. This is the great secret of transcendence, of keeping on moving higher towards a higher Ananda, towards a higher bliss, towards a higher fulfillment and success of life.